Good afternoon, everyone. Curry College Chief of the Forecaster, Joe Shaka here. Take a look at the GFS. There's going to be a storm, and I want to talk about this middle of next week. Here's the 12Z GFS next Wednesday with the storm off the Carolinas, and then next Wednesday night. This is going to be a very interesting thing. I think there could be a potential snow day and potentially some very significant snow accumulation mid-Atlantic up to the northeast with the storm that comes through next Wednesday. Then that heads out, and then there's this pattern that may be developing there where it could be but let's just say a relatively stormier pattern than average coming on up for parts of the northeast through mid-March. Now, I want to show you this, though, off the European weeklies. If I can bring that up here on my computer screen, it would be nice if I can bring this up. And I do have that right here. If we could take a look at the European weeklies and what I think is going to evolve here. And I think this is going to be very interesting here. And this is the new parallel data. So this is the new parallel going out 46 days. And this is what I wanted right here. So here's the parallel data. Days 0 through 7, you can see the zonal flow across much of the southern New England and northeast here. Now, as we head into day 10, days 4 through 11, going out through 26, and as you can see here how it has that mean trough position, it could be and then it's probably seeing, again, this is an ensemble mean of all 51 members, so it probably sees that storm that's heading up through there. And then if you look at week 2, which also starts this period. So this storm that's coming next week is in between here. So this is probably even a better representation of what it's going to look like at 500 millibars. You can see the trough here, and when this comes out again tonight, this is going to be all connected. This is going to be a big trough down the east, the 24th or 29th. And then as you can see here, as we go into the first week of March, you can see that here still hanging on. But as we get into mid-March, and it looks like here, probably around the 10th or definitely the 17th of March, you can see here how there could be still some trough in the east. There's going to be this trough hanging back. But you can still see here plenty of ridge building up into southwest Canada here and southeast Alaska. So this is certainly something we will watch. Mid-March, again, trough here, ridge here, trough out here. So this is a very stormy pattern. And if you take a look at the 850 temperatures, this is what they look like. You can see the majority of the warmth and the highest probability of warmth through this week. Obviously, it's going to warm up. We've got major heat in the plains. But if you take a look again at that time period that we were focusing on, March 4th through the 11th, you can see the majority of the warmth at 5,000 feet is focused in Alaska and southwest Canada, southeast Alaska, southwest Canada, and much of the states west of the Rockies. But as we get into mid-March here, you can start to see that weaken here and start coming across over here. So what I think is going to happen is that we're going to see a transversal of the pattern. So here's what it looks like at 500 millibars, and that shows up very nicely in the 850s. We still have the big ridge over Western Canada, but we're also starting to get a trough in the southeast, and we're starting to get a ridge here. And I have not yet, honestly, to be truly honest with you, I have not yet figured out if it's going to start early March or mid-March, but this may be the switching period, that transition week as we head to the second week of March. But as we work our way into the third week of March, there we are. You can see the nice ridge over here, and this is how it looks at 850. You can see the warmer than average temperatures here and the cooler than average temperatures here. And people are like, why is it not going to be cold in the east? Why is there not going to be a trough in the east? Well, part of it is because we're starting to get lower heights starting to come into Alaska, and that pushes things a little bit further to the east. And also we have lower heights over Greenland. So we have a positive NAO coming and probably a positive EPO coming. So that will probably center the warm here. And then as we obviously get by late March, early April, I think this is how the spring is going to unfold, actually, and we'll do another video on that. But again, this is an average of all the means, and you can see here, the ridge is not as strong. There's also ridging here, and with the warm water that's sitting out here, this could certainly support a ridge along the east, especially the northeast. And here's how it looks at 850. But I think we're going to have a very warm spring across much of the country, and that's being shown by the CFS V2 here, if I can go back to that really quick. The CFS V2 monthly for the month of April, I'll go back to March, but for the month of March, especially the latter half, you can see that again, that ring of warmth in the northeast and northern tier of the country. And then as we obviously move into April, it looks like this. In May, it also looks like that. So I think much of the country, after the first and second week of March, is going to see relatively warmer than average temperatures relative to normal. Thank you for watching.